Hey guys, welcome to Context Clues 101, where we learn all you need to know in order to define unfamiliar words and context. Now, everybody knows that whenever you come across an unfamiliar word in a text, you're supposed to use context clues to define that word. And everybody also knows that the context, in fact, is the words and phrases and sentences around that given word. But did you know that there are, in fact, four concrete clues that you can use to help define those unfamiliar words in context? Well, let's take a look at our four clues and see what we know. Our first clue, the definition clue. Quite simply put, the author defines the word in the sentence itself. For example, the hearth or the base of the fireplace is often used in books as a symbol for home. Notice how these commas offset the phrase that comes directly after the word, where I define the word for you. So now I know that the hearth literally is the base of a fireplace, but I also know in literary terms, symbolically, it typically represents home. That is a definition clue. Number two, comparison clue. This is exactly what it sounds like. Similes, metaphors, other examples of figurative language are all types of comparison clues if applied to a word. So you want to look for key indicators like a but, an and. In other words, look for something that says, on the other hand, comparatively. Those kinds of signal words and transitions will give you a strong hint if that's a comparison clue that you're looking for. Number three, restatement. This sounds a lot like a definition clue. It's slightly different. So it says, he waited for his reparation. He knew that this repayment would be swift, or else. So in the second sentence, we use another phrase, another sentence to help clarify the meaning of the first. And I automatically understand the connection between this because of this reflexive pronoun this connecting back to the sentence that came before it. The repayment and the reparation are the same thing. And fourth, gist. This is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You basically just have to understand a chunk of text, a paragraph, an entire selection of a passage in order to understand the definition of that term accurately. Now, keep in mind that there are relatively few words that hold the power to freeze you up entirely and lead you to not understand a single word of that passage. So, in addition to these four magnificent clues that we've discussed in the examples of which you have been provided, I offer you these three tips. One, keep reading. The worst thing you can do when you run across an unfamiliar word is to stop reading altogether. Chances are this will not affect your overall comprehension of an entire passage. And third, annotate. When you come across that word, circle it, and then try to make connections like we did here. Okay, and see if that helps you with your definitions. And those are your four clues, guys. So whenever you run across an unfamiliar word or phrase, use these clues to help you understand the passage. So that way you can think about what hint the author is trying to give you, and then use the text to define those words and phrases. Good luck.